This screencast is brought to you by EnhancingTeaching.com. The topic that we're talking about today is one of the features of Moodle, and it's sharing your files through Moodle. A teacher may have several files that he wants to share with his students. It doesn't matter whether they're Word documents, Excel documents, PDFs or pictures. A teacher is faced with two possible scenarios. For the purpose of this example, we will say that the teacher wants to share a Word document. The first scenario is where several class groups are assigned to one Moodle course. For example, a teacher who teaches computer applications to a group of business students and science students in the one Moodle course. In this example, the teacher would upload the Word document directly to the Moodle course. Your students can then access and download the Word document when required. The second scenario is a teacher, again, for the sake of argument, teaching computer applications to business and science students, but the students are split into two separate Moodle courses. In this case, the teacher should upload the Word file into a place referred to as My Private Files and then link it to the two different Moodle courses. First, I'll explain scenario 1 and I'll get on to scenario 2 after that. So, when you're sharing files directly to a Moodle course, it's important to understand what happens on the technical side of things. When you upload a document to Moodle, you essentially create a copy. This copy, for the sake of this demonstration, is represented with the word W in a slightly lighter shade of orange. This copy is placed on Moodle and essentially allows your students to access it as and when they see fit. At a later date, a day, a week or even a year later, you may want to update that Word file. So, for example, the Word file is a tutorial sheet containing 10 questions and you would like to update that sheet to include 2 new questions. You first must find the original file, whether it was on your computer or your USB stick, and make the necessary updates to your file and save the revised version. For the purpose of this presentation, this updated version, again represented by the word W, but it's in a green text box. So now we have the original on the computer, you have a copy of the original on Moodle, and we have the revised version is on your computer. You then must upload the revised version to Moodle, essentially replacing the copy that's on Moodle. Let's see it in practice. Well, in Moodle 2.3, it's quite simple to share a file. Here I have my Moodle course, and I've turned the editing on. I've logged into it. I came down to the area where I want to add my course into, and in a separate window I open up a Windows Explorer file and find the files that I want to add and share to my course. For example, I want to add this file to share with my students. I click on the file, hold the left mouse button down, drag it across, and you'll see it's uploading there. If I want to add several files at once, whether they're PowerPoints, Words or PDF documents, highlight them all, drag them across. As you will see, the name of the resource matches the file name of the document that you have transferred, and each of the different icons here will give an indication to the student the type of file that it is. If this file is unique to you and your naming system is unique to you, you may want to change it so it makes more sense to your students. To do that, you simply click on the pencil button and you rename it. And that's how easy it is to share a file with your students. You then, once your file is uploaded, you then have the option to change the settings. So let's come in here and change the settings associated with this file. So here's the longer way to change the name of the file. You may also want to give a description for search purposes. Now, you may want to restrict this file to be visible from a certain time to another certain time, or you may want it to be subject to grade conditions and activity completions, all of which we'll talk about in subsequent tutorials. And once you're finished with the settings, you just click Save and Return to Course. The second scenario that I mentioned earlier on is where you have a file that you want to share across two different courses. So again, the Word file represented here in the My Private Files area, and you have two separate Moodle courses and you want to share the same file with those students. The file in the My Private Files area is linked to an alias in your various Moodle courses. Remember, the uploading of a file to Moodle essentially creates a copy of the file that's on your USB stick or computer. Moodle is not a word processing program. So let's see uploading a file to My Files area in practice. Log into your Moodle instance, make sure editing's turned on, and scroll down the screen to the My Private Files area. Click on Manage My Private Files. In the earlier example, we opened up Windows Explorer window, we found the file in question, and dragged it across to the course. It's exactly the same here, except instead of dragging it across to the course, we're dragging it across to the My Private Files area. When you drag it across, it will ask you then to save your changes. And it's as simple as that. Your file is there in the My Private Files area. So now, when you go into your course and you want to link that, you want to link to that particular file, that alias. Let's click on this, add a resource. It's a file that we're adding. And it's a PowerPoint file. Click on Add, click on Private Files area, and there we go. Select this file. Now remember what I said before, what you're doing on Moodle is you're selecting a copy. This copy is going onto your Moodle course. Okay, so now you've uploaded a file. How do you update it? Again, we'll say the Word document, the copy of the Word document is represented here in orange. And you have it linked to several files, maybe on several different courses, the same file, with the original being stored on your computer. As before, we'll create the revised version represented here by the W in the green text box. And we upload that revised version onto My Private Files. And essentially what it's done is the link then remains to all the different courses. The revised version replaces all the older versions. Let's see updating a file in practice. Whether you're updating a file that you loaded directly into a course or into your private files area, the process is very much the same. First, open up your Windows Explorer to make sure you have the files on hand. Then go into your Moodle course and click on the update button. We'll say, for example, it's the Excel file we're wanting to update. We'll give it a little description here. Should I have done this beforehand? And we want to replace this file with the more up-to-date file, a version that's on my computer. I find the most up-to-date version on my computer and I drag it across. It will ask me to overwrite or rename it. We're going to overwrite the existing one to remove any confusion. There will only be one version, the most up-to-date version, on Moodle available to my students. Click on Overwrite and scroll down and click Save. That's how quick it is to update a file directly on your Moodle course. In the example where you have a file linked to several courses through your Managed Private Files area, to update this, open My Private Files area, Find a file in your Windows Explorer, the new revised version of your file, and drag it across. It will ask to do the same. There's already a file in here. Do you want to overwrite it or rename it? Overwrite it will replace it everywhere you have it on any one of your Moodle courses. Click on Save Changes and you're done. Thank you for taking the time to view this tutorial on sharing files with your students. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you'd like some more information, please feel free to contact me through the following details.